Hi, this is Tessa Keogh, and this is another 20 with Tessa. So now let's go live and check out both the forum and the bulletin board. Okay, so if you have gone to the Roots Web mailing list, you will get a general mailing list, and you can type in Guild of One Name Studies, and this is what comes up. Now you can search the archives, and you can also browse the archives. And I just wanted to show you that this was what we were talking about before. And as you scroll through, you'll notice that you come up to October 2012, and there currently are 257 messages. If we click on October, it brings up these messages, and here the messages are contained in the alphabetical order, I think, for what came in based on the titles that people gave their emails. So for instance, if you were interested in Gloucestershire birth, marriage, and death records, or gravestone symbolism, or the post-1837 marriage index update, you could scroll through and find it this way. You can also search and you could say that you want it in the body, or you want it in the subject, or you want who it's from, and you can look up all of the posts. And here you can see the posts that various people have put on, and you can read them. I find it a little bit more difficult to scroll through this forum format, although it is helpful if you are looking for a particular item. You can do a search and it's going to give you everything. It just is something that when I scroll through when I'm browsing is a little harder. The other thing that I would point out here is, and all I'm doing is clicking on Control and F, and I'm in a Chrome browser, but this is done a similar way with Firefox, as well as Internet Explorer 9. But if I were to type in Roots Magic and I didn't know that it was one word, what it does is it tells me that there aren't any emails on the forum about that. Now if I were to go back and realize that it's one word, what you'll find is that it finds it, and it tells me that there's 4 posts regarding this. And that's helpful, but you can see if you don't have the spelling down correctly, if you don't have the spacing down correctly, this is artificial intelligence finding things for you. So it's not going to find Roots Magic. So you would need to scroll through here and look for it. I think that the forum is excellent. There are a lot of questions asked and answered. The one thing that I would say is that when you go on and look through it, and as you're scrolling through all of the answers, there's a lot of additional information that's here that doesn't make it very easy to kind of read and work with. And so I just wanted to show you what that looked like to give you an idea. Now, when you go into the Guild Bulletin Board, you sign in with your username, which for all of us, I believe, after we've been accepted, is our email address. When you first sign in, I think you're told to use your user number, and that's just your guild number. You pick a password, you tell it you want to sign in or how long you want to sign in for, and you just log in. So we'll do that right now. And it brings up the Guild Bulletin Board. I have gone ahead and filled out my profile as they ask you to do here. And so now instead of my number, which was originally used, it's my name. Now the first thing you'll notice is it'll tell you when you were last at the Guild Bulletin Board. And then it will show you, by clicking on either one of these items here under your name, all of the unread posts since your last visit or new replies to your own posts. And so I think that's very useful, especially if you don't want to scroll through and look at all of the information that's on the bulletin board. Now there's basically what amounts to a ribbon here, and each of these items will be highlighted as you click on them. Right now we're at home. You could go into a search, you could go into your profile, and you could take a look at your own messages. You can also look up the member list who's on the bulletin board. And here's a real nice thing. If you click here, it takes you to the Guild of One Name Studies. And for instance, let's give this a go here and search and see if the Keogh surname is there. And sure enough, it shows up with my member number, my member name, my email address, and then the variants that I'm using in my study. And so you would just back out of this, but it's good to know that it takes you to the home page and you can be using anything along here that you want that's open to everyone. The other thing you can do is go directly into the members room from the bulletin board, which is also nice. Now I'm going to just show you a little bit of the look and layout for your own membership in the bulletin board. So you can set your profile, and that's done over here. You can set the way you want it to look and the time that you want to use and whether you return to posts, just what items you want displayed. Maybe you don't want to look at particular things. You can also give it information about how you want to receive notifications. If you want notifications to be mailed to you, if you want to keep track of certain items, you can say that you want to do it there, and then you can just come directly here and look at those 4 posts. If I wanted things to be mailed to me, it would be down here. You can take a look at how you want your personal messages to display. So there's a number of things to take a look at when you modify your profile, and you should just kind of work through and play with it. You can't break it, and see how you want your profile to show up. So if we go back to the home page, and I'm going to have the program scroll through here, there's a number of different discussions. There's guild discussions, there's software discussions, and there's also websites. And you'll get some statistics. Right now there's 200 members of the guild who've signed up for the bulletin board, so I think that's great. And you can take a look at various things. If you're interested in ancestry, this is where you'd come. We all know it's a website. We know it's Ancestry. Everything here is in alphabetical order. If you're interested in social media, you could take a look at Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and other social media. And this might be LinkedIn or perhaps Pinterest or something. So all of the software is listed. And as you'll see, Custodian comes up. Another popular one is Family Historian. Currently there aren't any on Legacy or Roots Magic, and those are much more American ones. But there's other software discussions. In guild discussions, which I find very helpful, it's a general discussion, and that's where you're going to have the vast majority of your topics. You have a discussion of DNA and Hangouts, and I wanted to show you this one. Because the one thing I really like about this is that they refer to the August, the September, and the October Hangout. So let's just take a look at the September one. Now, the September Hangout was about data extraction with Outwit Hub and Excel, which are both software programs, and it's been read 96 times. And I think maybe what that means is that a number of people have watched the Hangout. It was recorded, it was placed on YouTube, it was also placed here at the bulletin board. So you could come to the bulletin board and watch the September Hangout, and then you could also follow that up with the discussion that took place after the fact. Colin had discussed a software program that he's working on, an online program rather, that is extracting information among co-researchers. And so he was showing it to people, and he included a JPEG so that we could see what that's like, and he also included some websites. And this is a real nice thing. This is in your signature line in your profile, but for instance right here, I could click on this and take a look at information that he has. He has a website, and then I can go right back to the bulletin board. So that's very useful. I made a comment here about Hangouts and data extraction, and as you can see, I have selected a different font, I've selected a different color, I've added an avatar. You can kind of do what you want and make it much more personal, or you can leave it alone. It's your choice. But if you want to attach a JPEG, if you want to reference your websites, if you want to reference something like, and this is a really good one because this member, Tony Timians maybe, he has a blog about putting together his profile, about doing his one name study, and also about Outwit Hub. And he seems to be pretty savvy, another pretty savvy tech person. And so he discusses that in greater detail. And you can just, have your various windows open, but you can quickly go to other people's websites and then be right back in the bulletin board. I think it reads really well. It gives you the ability to reply if you want to, and I think it's very clean because as I read through this, I don't have to open up individual posts like I do in the forum. And I can take a look at links that somebody references, I can take a look at their website, or I can watch a video. So in my opinion, it's just a really clean method of using a bulletin board or a discussion board. Now, I think that the one other thing I want to show you is search. So if I were to search for Excel, if I were to spell it correctly first, if I were to search for Excel and I can ask it the same type of thing if I wanted it by a user or I wanted it to match the word, show it as messages or show it just in the topics. If I leave this open, I'm going to get all instances of Excel. And what you see right now is that the search results for Excel are contained in one page. There's a number of different ones. So where it shows up in the title, Excel, it will also show up when it's part of a word, but you can take a quick look and know that that's not one of the ones you want to look up. And it can also show up where the discussion here in item 11 is general discussion, collaboration in the cloud. The person didn't put it in the title, but it is in the body, and right there it shows up, and you know that that might be one thing you want to look at. So as you scroll through all of these responses, it's very easy to see and very easy to go to, and I really like that search function. So you've got some great functions in the Guild Bulletin Board. I like the clean layout, but you also have the forum. And depending on where you've placed your question, and I need to go back here a few, I don't want to be showing people's emails, but depending on how you've written your question up, where you've placed it, what you're interested in getting as a response. In the forum, you cannot attach JPEGs or videos or screenshots, and there's a reason for that. It's not owned by the Guild, it's not monitored by the Guild. It also is run through Ancestry at this point, and so they're very careful about people who might be on I think it's called dial-up versus people who are on I guess DSL or something like that. But some people have a slower system of getting their internet mail and they don't want it clogging up their email, or they don't want it clogging up the online sites they go to. And so I get why they don't allow it on the site, and I get why they don't allow rich text as opposed to plain text. But just realize that the difference between the forum and the bulletin board is, I think the bulletin board is much cleaner. It allows you a lot more opportunities to attach things that you might want to make your question clearer or to discuss things. And I think you should at least sign up for the bulletin board and give it a try. And then if you're no longer interested in using it, you can also quit the bulletin board and just use the forum. And also keep in mind, you don't have to use either the forum or the bulletin board. And I don't know how many people are members of the forum, but I don't think it's the majority of the Guild in any event. So give it a try. It's just another method of communication, and I think you'll find if you start playing with it that it's really useful and kind of nice to go through. So let's take a quick look and see what's here about the October Hangout. Now, a member said that they were considering going online to the Hangout on Saturday, but they want to understand a little bit more about how you use webcams with it. And then another individual answers, and then the person, is referencing whether they have a headset or a webcam. And so it's very quick responses back and forth, and I think that it's very useful. You could also go onto this person's blog and discuss it with her in more depth if you wanted to. The final thing that I wanted to show you is the membership list, and I think this might be useful. First of all, the member list shows you that all of these people have signed on, and they've signed on with their user number for the guild, and at some point they're doing what the bulletin board requested, which is filling out their profile, which includes their name. We're going to take a look at Bob Cumberbatch's. Now, by clicking on his link here, you can see that he has his profile online, and so you could take a look at that. You could send Bob Cumberbatch an email. You could go to his website because he's added that. You'd know from looking here that his position in the guild is, in addition to being a member, he's a committee member. And you can see when he first signed up or registered with Bulletin Board. And this is back when it was first starting out and in beta testing. Bob has posted 54 times. And you have an opportunity to go to his posts if you want to look at them. He discusses a lot of committee issues, as well as I believe he's in charge of the Ancestry.com surname guest articles that are ongoing. He's also incredibly tech savvy, and so he answers a lot of questions about Excel and Outwit Hub, and he's been very helpful. So if I were to take a look at the alphabet here, I am looking for T's, and you'll notice that it's done by person's first name, not their last name. And there I show up right there. And you'll see that I'm online. Anything that has a green box means the person's online right now. You could email me. You'd see that I'm the regional rep, and you could see that I joined in September and that I have 4 posts. So I need to get a little busier, I guess. Anyway, that is the bulletin board. It's easy to sign up for and to start posting, and I hope some of you will give it a try and see if it works for you. And what I'd like everyone to keep in mind, as you'll notice when you've read all the emails and the concerns that people have, is everything begins and ends with the Guild website, as I said at the outset. All the other resources are there to assist you with your One Name study and with interacting with other Guild members and to kind of keep you in the know with what's going on. There's a variety of resources. We discussed them before, but the top ones are, in my opinion, the journal, the Guild newsletters, Google Plus and Facebook, Guild Hangouts, the forum and the new bulletin board, webinars, videos like this one on YouTube, learning abilities with going to various websites, Ancestry.com, FamilySearch.org, Find My Past, all of them have webinars to help you. So there's just a lot of things out there. Try everything out once. If you don't like it, don't use it again. If you like it, use it. You can choose what you want to use, and we all want everyone to enjoy the different resources that are out there. And think of it as a smorgasbord. You don't have to eat everything, but you can try everything once and see if you like it and then go back for more. So I hope that this has been a good introduction for many of you, that it kind of gives you a feel for how both the forum and the bulletin board work, as well as what other things you should be taking a look at on the Guild webpage and just online in general. Now, the other thing I would encourage you to do is, if you have a question or a comment, you can leave it here at YouTube, certainly if it's about this video. You can always email me at tessa.keogh@one-name.org. You could post publicly or privately on Google Plus, because I'm there. You could check out the Guild website. Most Guild members know where it is, they use it, but non-members could take a look at it, everything that's not behind the paywall, and that's at www.one-name.org. Visit the Guild on Facebook or on Google Plus, or both of them. And now make an effort to post at the Guild Bulletin Board and let the members who put it together know what you think. Give it a go and see if you like it. Thanks for watching, and all the best with your studies.